Good morning, my lovelies. I hope y'all are having a great day today.
Good morning, my lovelies.
I see you out there struggling, but I see you succeeding at the same time.
Every morning, Shaunna Burns sends these messages of positivity to her 350,000 TikTok followers.
I just basically say, you're amazing, go out there and show the world how you shine, and it really resonated with people. Instapot Adventures.
She's well known for her how-to videos on basic life skills like making French toast.
First thing, Italian bread.
Or giving her cat a flea bath.
This is how to fix your washing machine?
I'm literally a mom, and I'm trying to impart all of my knowledge onto the TikTok kids. Like, everything that you could imagine, I'm gonna teach you. If I know it, I will teach you.
Guys,
I'm here with the game.
And she even showed me how to up my TikTok game.
How many videos do you put together in a day?
I do at least 5 to 10 videos a day.
But the video that got her the most attention is this one, teaching followers how to deal with medical debt.
you go to the emergency room, you get a bill for $1,000.
Last year, 137 million Americans reported medical financial hardship, and 65% of Americans say unexpected medical bills are their top concern. Shaunna is trying to change that, 1 minute at a time. Her key tip? Ask for an itemized bill that shows every charge. That's exactly what Eva Solis Zavala did. She says she went to the ER last March.
They did blood work and ultrasounds and stuff to figure out what was going on. That's when they found out that I had cysts that had ruptured. That was kind of it. It was pretty simple. And I went home, but then I got the bill.
After insurance and deductible payments, Eva still owed more than $1,000.
I didn't know what to do. You know, how am I going to pay this off?
But after seeing Shaunna's video, Eva asked for this itemized bill. She was stunned by the response.
When I opened it, I reread it like 4 times because I didn't believe it. It said 0, like they had canceled out over $1,000.
And her message for Shaunna?
She didn't have to do all of that, but she did because I truly think she cares about people and helping people.
What are the typical amounts of money that people are messaging you about that you've helped them save?
Thousands of dollars, easy. Thousands of dollars.
Every time, does it feel just as amazing?
Yeah, every time. Every single time. Even if I've only helped somebody save $50.
How I saved my family a ton of money.
What's the message you give to those people who are struggling with debt?
Debt does not equal deadbeat. These are good people. They've probably had a health crisis that they weren't anticipating, and now they've got all this medical debt. They may not be able to work. Their insurance may not have covered it. No one signs up for it. And you just need to be compassionate to those people.
Now, Shaunna told me she insists she's not a medical professional, and she tells people on her page she can only answer billing questions based on her personal experience. She used to be a debt collector. Now, if you have actual medical question, go see your doctor. We did reach out to the hospital that Eva went to, Legacy Health. They said they can't comment on the bill because of privacy laws, but that they do provide generous programs to extend financial assistance to eligible uninsured and underinsured patients in the form of partially or fully discounted services. We had to get that in.
You know what I thought was so interesting? None of us are on TikTok. I would never go to TikTok for. Why is that medium attractive to a younger audience, especially for help on bills? I mean, that's not something that I would have thought that they would go to.
TikTok skews younger, probably in that under 18 age range, and she's considering herself like an unofficial TikTok mom, filling a void, I think, for a lot of kids who may not be getting this kind of life skills education either at home or in school.
And then, so what are some of the things, besides asking for an itemized bill, can you do as a patient to try to cut that medical bill?
You know, her first piece of advice, Shaunna says, try to avoid that medical debt. That means if you do end up in the ER, ask what kinds of tests they're running on you and know that you have rights and that you can refuse certain types of care. If you know that you're not pregnant, for example, and they're going to run their battery of tests anyway, you can say, hey, I don't need that test, but please, you know, stitch up my arm or do these other things.
What if you're already in debt and agencies are actually calling you?
The important thing here is to ask for the original bill with your signature and a list of charges. In some cases, in all cases, if they can't come up with that and you're in court, that bill will get tossed out. So always ask for all of the original statements to show you what you're supposed to be paying. Don't forget, you can also negotiate. That's important too.
I wouldn't even have thought. I wouldn't even have thought to ask for an itemized bill and tests that you don't do or don't need.
Before we let you go, we hear that the FTC has taken action after an investigation here on the third hour into these detox teas.
Yeah, this is interesting. That's right. Last summer, we brought you this story about all those detox tea ads on Instagram. They were being promoted by a lot of big-name influencers. Well, we have learned now the FTC has reached a proposed settlement with one of those companies, Teamy. The FTC alleges Teamy used deceptive health claims that its 30-day detox pack would help customers lose weight and that its other teas fight cancer. The FTC is also alleging Teamy failed to disclose that influencers were being paid to promote these products. So as part of this proposed settlement, Teamy is going to pay a $1 million fine, and the FTC is also sending warning letters to 10 of the influencers.
What about people who've used that stuff? Do they get anything back or anything like that?
At this point, no. That's part of the fine. I mean, you buy it. You could call your credit card company, though, and see if you may be able to get a refund that way.
Federal Trade Commission, working for the people. Thank you. We're going to see you back here tomorrow, right?
Yes, we'll be back tomorrow.